Hi there, thanks for watching this video. My name is Court Bowman, I'm the CEO of Cleveland Consulting. I'm going to walk you through one of the new features of the R4 release of ccPivot3. Anybody who's already purchased ccPivot3 can go ahead and download the latest copy, and if not, feel free to download the demo from a website and check it out, or go ahead and buy it directly from the website. So let's talk about what's going on here. For the demonstration, I have ccPivot integrated with CC Nonprofit, another one of our products. Over here I've got about 10,000 donation records, so it's good for building reports on. You can see I've got a donation report here already. Takes a few seconds to run because, again, I'm reporting on just over 10,000 records. And so there's a fair amount of data in there. And so what this is a report of all the donations broken down by state, by type, cash, check, or credit card, broken down by year and month. Pretty typical report that people might build in ccPivot. And if I go in here to edit it, you can see, if I look at the detail, that we've got some pretty standard stuff. State, type, date, and date, broken down by year and month, and the sum of our total donations. But often people want to filter this. And it's pretty easy to add a filter in. So if I wanted to filter this for just one size of donation, so say I wanted to get a total of all the donation amounts that were greater than or equal to $500, I could put a greater than or equal and a $500 there. And that would get me a new report that's all those $500 donations, which works pretty good. But oftentimes people building this report into their system have users that don't want to come in and edit ccPivot, aren't able to come into ccPivot, or you want to deploy a solution where you just don't want to give them privileges to report on anything. So we wanted to give you an easy way to deploy this, where you can just trigger a pivot report from within your solution really easily. So we've built a new script in ccPivot called the ccPivot3. It's under the public folder. It's the only script you can see there. You can see that there's an example call here where you just call the script with the name of the pivot you want to call and a variable that you want to call. You can see a fully realized path name, a value, a global variable, so anything that you want to do. So for example, if you put a name there, it'll put salesperson ID, and we'll create a global variable with salesperson ID equals that value. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this because I want to get that variable, or I want to get that value, so I can call my script with a good script parameters easily. Go ahead and close that, and then we're going to do some integration work here to show how that's done. So the first thing I'm going to do is in ccPivot, I'm going to go ahead and edit this, and I'm going to make this donation amount, rather than being greater than $500, I'm going to just call that greater than or equal to big, because I just want a variable that's big. I want the big donations. So I'm going to say close and close. And obviously if I refresh now, that's not going to get anything because big doesn't have a value in it yet. But I've got that script I can call. So what I need to do is go over here to CC Nonprofit and give myself a way to call that script. So I'm going to go into the script workspace. I'm going to make myself a new script here. Let's shrink that down a little bit. It doesn't need to be quite that big. And I could make a new script over here. I could just do a new button because I don't really need that much stuff. So I'm going to go into layout mode. I'm going to grab just an existing button, get rid of the stuff selected that I don't need to have. So let's deselect those things. Make a copy of that button here. And instead of search, we'll just call this big, because that's my report name. And it's good enough for now. So I'm going to perform a script. That's all that button was set up to do in CC Nonprofit. So this is going to perform another script. But in this case, the script I perform needs to be in an external file. So I'm going to add a new data source for ccPivot. And then I'm going to call this public script. And I'm going to call this public script with this script parameter. And that would be enough if that worked. But my pivot name isn't sample pivot. In this case, my pivot name is donation report. Donation report, and I don't need salesperson ID equals something. I just want big, and that's going to equal $500. So I can just put 500 here. Now I can call this report over from here with a value of 500 and big. I'm going to say OK, and that would work fine. So now I've got this script running that's going to call this pivot from within CC Nonprofit with a big script. So let's go to contacts, click this big button. What it should do is it should pull ccPivot frontmost, run that script with a value of $500 in that variable, and give me a report on all those donations that are $500 or more. In this case, you can see it refreshed in the background, and it did that. So now I've got this working with that variable built in. If I didn't have ccPivot open already, it would open it to a minimized screen run that report with a $500 variable in there. And in this case, with ccPivot not already open, we send you to a new layout that has less interface on it, so users can't get back to the home screen. All they can do is export it to Excel or print it or refresh it. You see, they've got no way to change this. Now, what's great about this is you can really run this with anything. So I'm sending the variable of big, but I could send obviously something from a search field. So instead of doing variable equals something, I could say, give me a report on a particular user's donations and set that in my filters. Obviously, you can set anything you want to in that and use that in any filter you'd like. Hopefully, you find that feature useful. We hope that it will let you use this in new and flexible ways. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email. You can reach me directly at court@clevelandconsulting.com, or you can send something to ccPivot@clevelandconsulting.com. We'll be glad to answer it, or leave a comment on the video or on the page that you've been linked to see the video. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks.